Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Vic Slaying Hope. And I got another video for y'all. So let me show y'all this clip and then come right back.
I enjoy paranoia. I love it. You know why? Because what's the worst part about being paranoid? You on point. You know what I'm saying? I circled the block 3 times. Beanie Siegel said it. You circle that motherfucker, you watch it. What's going on? Is that the mailman? Do I know you? What's the worst that can happen when you paranoid? You look paranoid? Fuck you. I'm doing it. I enjoy paranoia. I'm from the city. I walk with my keys in my fingers. You know what I do? When somebody walk behind me, I'll stop it like I'm tying my shoe. I ain't tying it. I want you in front of me, nigga. I got caught doing that at the Wawa the other day. The boy was like, ain't nobody trying to do nothing to you. I was like, what, nigga? Totally thought he was gonna rob me or something. I let him go around me.
You don't feed a lot though. So
I do it to whites to spite them, but I also do it to shady looking people. Y'all don't hit the lock. You don't hit the lock on a nigga when he looking great. What? Your hoodie's too low. I don't give a fuck what color you are. If you look like you might tug on that door handle, I'm hitting that motherfucking lock on you with pride. Right in your eyeball. The fuck is going on with you? Women, men, children. I don't trust them fucking children. You too cool. That's what's wrong with you. I think that you never really know. You never know people's mental state anymore. Also, people tend to think that you have more than what you do. I wear a lot of fake ass accessories. God forbid you think this watch is real, girl. You done punched me in the head for an incline watch. Ain't nobody giving you nothing for that. I call it being cautious. When I grew up, my mother had bars placed on our windows. We had bars on our windows, Drac. My mother had a pistol. She slept with weapons by the bed. We ready. Why not?
I respect that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Please. I'm with all that
So, before I even get into my commentary, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share the content. You know what I'm saying? We're about to have a deep dive into this. Now, she said a lot of things that, yeah, you got to be on point out here. So she said a lot of things that kind of like make sense, especially living wherever we might be living. I don't know where she lives in the hood. But if you do, like, you can never be too careful about like what's going on. We see what's going on. We see what's happening. We see people are hungry. We see some people are just have malicious intent. And you know, when I first came home, you know, when you leave the streets in a certain way, when I left the streets, I had beef. So when I came back, you tend to return in the same way that you left. So when I came back, my mind is set on I got beef. Like, you know, like people looking for me, people plotting on me. Like, that was just my mindset. Because also when you're incarcerated, people could look up your release date. People could look up what facility you in. So in my mind, that's just how I was thinking. Like, I was just like, oh, they probably know my release date. They probably gonna get notified being that the dude snitched on me. So I was just like, my mind was just like, I was just like, it, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. Like, and that was my mindset. And, you know, I remember talking to my friend. My friend came to pick me up in jail. And I was like, I remember we was talking or whatever, and we was going through certain things. And, like, even as, like, after the few days, like, he was like, damn, man, you mad paranoid. And I was just like, he was like, yo, you're paranoia. He told me, he didn't say, damn, you mad paranoid, but he told me, like, yo, your paranoia gonna keep you alive, you know? And because my friend ended up getting shot 7 times, you know, while I was in prison. So it was a lot of stuff like that I had to like be mindful of. I also was a gang member before I went away. So I didn't just expect people to forgive me and forget things I did when I was gang banging in the streets. So I always had to move a certain way. And now especially the fact that, you know, I do YouTube, I got 19,000 subscribers. That's a lot of people. And, you know, you never know who's malicious, or you never know who, you know, got some type of motive to do something to you, or connected to the people that might have problems with me. You know, you'll never know what people be talking about behind the scenes, or know what's up. Like, one time a dude came and commented on one of my videos and was like, yo, like, my old heads were talking about you, like, you know, not in a good way. So like, it's people out there that probably still got a problem with me for whatever reason, right? So yeah, man, like, paranoia will keep you alive. That's what my man told me. And even to this day, I move around like I got beef. It might not be the same way, to the same extent of when I first came home, but I think, like, if you train your mind to move in a certain way, if you tell your mind I got problems with people, people are looking for me, you're always going to be in a certain zone, with a certain demeanor, with a certain attitude. You're always going to be basically ready. You get what I'm saying? When you relax, I've seen too many people get killed when they relax. And again, I don't have no control of when God want to take me from this earth. I really don't. But it is still in my and it's still my responsibility to do the best that I can to try to protect myself, right? So yeah, so I kind of like have that notion where like my subconscious mind is on go mode, like, and I pay attention to my animalistic instincts, right? But I got like 4 points real quick. So she spoke about being on point. She mentioned like she liked being paranoid. I don't think anybody likes being paranoid. I don't think anybody likes the feeling of like, damn, I have to move a certain way. I have to be hyper aware. I have to be hyper vigilant. I have to, like, because most of us, I believe, we wish we lived in safe communities where we didn't have to do those things. So I don't think the body feels good about just constantly living under that duress and stress and intense feelings of I gotta watch myself. And they even got a thing called paranoia personality disorder. I don't think I'm like that, but to my point is like, yeah, man, it's an annoying feeling. But you must be on point out here. You must be on point out here. I can't stress that enough. At the end of the day, when you gone, you gone. That's it, and nothing else to it. When you gone, you gone. So you have to be on point. So you have to do certain things. You gotta pay attention. You gotta be hyper vigilant. You gotta watch. I tell men and women, pay attention to what people are doing. I'm always watching people's hands. I'm always watching people's like pockets. Like I'm always watching what they doing. Not like on some staring, but like you gotta be able to probe without people knowing you're probing. You get what I'm saying? So I'm always like, especially if somebody looks suspect, like she said, like sometimes you gotta spin the block 3 times. Sometimes I go home different ways. Like, you gotta confuse people. You gotta change it up. When people study a pattern, it can become a problem for you if somebody is watching. So if you moving like, you never know. You get what I'm saying? Like you have to kind of like be cautious. You could never be too cautious. So I implement certain things in my life to kind of like maneuver just in case. But being on point is a lot, man. You just got to pay attention. Some people like, I don't even like being on the road and having headphones in because it takes away from my sense of hearing. I can't hear. That is very important for me to be able to defend myself. My sense of sight, my sense of hearing, my sense of smell. People that know me, they'll tell you I got a great sense of smell. So I pay attention to my senses, and that's part of being on point, which leads me to my next thing. Pay attention to your instincts, right? You got to pay attention to your instincts. A lot of us, we ignore our body. When our body, when we get a little nervous, when we get that little weird gut feeling, when we feel the vibe is off, we don't pay attention to our instincts. If I go somewhere and the vibe just seems weird, I'm going to leave. I'm either going to leave or I'm going to be on super point. But a lot of times it's like, why stay in a place and be on super point when you could just leave? So I'd rather just leave. That's why a lot of times I'm very cautious. But let me stay on pay attention to your instincts. A lot of us, we're not grounded to the ground. And like I always say, when you're not grounded to the ground, you're like a tree that can be uprooted, can be knocked down. You don't even know what to look for, what to pay attention for. But a lot of us ain't come from a certain lifestyle. But the whole point I'm trying to say is pay attention to your gut feeling. Pay attention to that. Don't ignore it. Don't be like, I'm just being paranoid. I'm just being afraid. I'm just being this. And I'm going to tell you this story. When I first came home, I went to an event. My cousins and them was there. Like, this was early on. And I was in there. And, like, people started coming in. And then after, like, a little bit, I was just like, yeah, something about to happen here. I told my cousins that. I said, something about to go down. They told me, like, oh, you acting paranoid. That's that jail stuff, blah, blah, blah. I said, all right. I left. 30 minutes after I left, somebody got stabbed. And they was like, yo, you was right. I felt it. I felt the energy. I'm in tune with certain things. I'm in tune with my instincts. So I left. A lot of people don't know what to look for, what the hell is going on. They just get caught up, bystanders. So it goes back to being cautious. Before that, let me go to dress regular. I try to minimize things that might get me in a situation. I know people are hungry out there. I'm not going to be out here flossing in their face. I'm not going to be out here. You're not going to see me with money and doing all of that extra stuff. You're not going to see me with expensive clothes. That's not even really my thing. You're not going to see me with jewelry. You're just not going to see me doing certain things because I know people are hungry. I know people are starving. And I know some people will kill you for what you got. Like she said in the video, man, somebody bust you in the head for a watch. And it's crazy that we have to move like this and we have to be cautious and we can't wear certain things. But that's just how shit go, man. You gotta be cautious. You gotta dress regular. That can minimize your situation. There's a lot of people out here who be like, ain't nobody gonna take my chain. Ain't nobody gonna rob me. Like, I ain't trying to do all that. I'm not even trying to bring that attention to me. From the women or the men. Because when women think you got money, the leech is gonna hound you. And when men think you got it, man, you know how it goes. You can never be too cautious. And then brings me to the last point is be cautious. Being cautious has a lot that entails to it. But it's also part of not frequenting certain places. If you know they always shoot up this club, why you gonna go there? Why? Why you gonna go to this club if you know they frequently be shooting it up? If you know certain people always going here, they're always fighting over here, there's always a problem, it's always on the news, somebody always telling you a crazy story about the spot, why would you want to go there? We're not teenagers no more. I know we used to have this saying, like, you know, the littest parties be the ones that get shot up. Like, nah, man, I'm not no teenager no more. I'm not trying to be in the littest party that's getting shot up. You know, I'm trying to be where people are civilized, where people are behaving a certain way, where people got certain to lose. Why would you go to certain place? That's why when certain people invite me to certain places, I don't go. That's me being cautious. Not just for me, but also for them. Because my body has an automatic response when certain things like, you know, when certain things pop off, you know, or when I see somebody who is trying to harm me or do certain things. I ain't got time to go to jail, and I ain't got time to get harmed. So I be cautious. Another thing being cautious, I remember back in the days, right, when women used to come to my house. Now, mind you, you know, we started off a little rocky. We was the Crips, they was the Bloods. We struggled. We ended up taking over. And then after we took over, the women that used to hang out with them, they wanted to hang out with us. Because women, this is what women do. A lot of problems in the hood start over women. But this is what women do. They want to be with the men who got the power. They want to be with the ones who is those niggas, like they say, right? I don't really like that word. But they want to be with those dudes. Either they got the money, the power, the respect. They want to be in the loop, right? So when we became those dudes, they wanted to be around us. They wanted to be, so, but I didn't trust them. Which is just, in my mind, it's like, I'm dumb because I shouldn't have even hung out with them anyway. But, you know, you got to be cautious. So one of the things that used to happen, this back in the days, when people came to my house, or when women came to my house, like, my gun will always be out. And when they came out, I always used to give them a little speech. This was just for those particular girls that I knew used to hang out with the ops. I used to tell them, look, if you here to chill and have a good time, we here to have a good time. We gonna chill. We gonna have fun. Like, you feel me? Like, we cool. Like, but if you here because you think you're gonna line something up, or you here because you think that you're gonna be reporting back information, I'm letting you know right now, if we find out you playing this game, you gonna get dealt with. Just like them. You getting the same response, you getting the same penal punishment that the dude's gonna get. Because you trying to come in here. Because see, men always use women to try to set other dudes up. They use girls all the time. So I was always cognizant of that. Like, and I know it was stupid back then because them girls could have just called the police. But, you know, these are the girls that like the Pookies and the Ray Rays, right? They want to show that they're loyal, that they're ride or die. They want to, like, you know, they want to do all that dumb shit. So it worked in certain ways, right? Because if they did have in their mind that they was coming to line us up or find out information to do certain things, now they know, like, nah, them motherfuckers be on point. Like, they own their shit, you know? And if they didn't, it still kind of let them know. Like, you know? So if they came to report, they're going to let them know what we got going on. And they didn't come for that. They kind of was like, okay, they still on point. So even for future reference, like, they not going to, unless they really stupid, but we let them know of jump, man. Like, if you here to chill, we gonna chill. If you here to start some fuckery, like, you gonna get dealt with. And, you know, and a lot of them kept coming back because they really fuck with us. They was cool with us. So yeah, man, you can never be too cautious. But that's the video. I don't want to go too long. Just pay attention to your instincts. You got to be on point. You know, if you feel like something is funny, something is off, you got to go with your gut feeling. Dress regular. I mean, if you don't got to listen to me, but that's just certain things that I do. And just be cautious and come up with your own little tests to kind of like test people, you know. You can never be too sure about people. So I always try to come up with little things in ways that I could kind of like test people and see if I could trust them in order to be part of my circle. Because, listen, man, your life is only one. And once you're gone, you're gone. It's done. It's a wrap. So you can't play about it. You can't be thinking like, oh, I don't want people to think I'm scared. I don't want people to think man, F all that. Your life is important, and you need to do whatever you need to do to kind of like preserve it. But let me know what y'all thoughts are. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time. Peace.